Welcome to Sex and the One, the podcast with B and KV.
Getting down and dirty about all things love, life, sex, dating, and relationships. Welcome.
Welcome back to another episode
Sex and the One.
with KV and B.
Yeah. Do you know, we haven't said that for ages. We used to say that back in the day heaps. And have we told the story about the name, where it came from? I think we probably have. But for those of you that haven't heard it.
It's been a while.
We, obviously I wrote the book and we decided to call the book The One. We called the podcast Sex and the One from day one. We just went, we're going to call that Sex and the One.
Yes, we did.
Because we want to talk about sex and the one. And everything in between. And it's funny
with
because
the one or being the one.
We always say sex, dating, and relationships, but it ends up going wherever it goes.
Sex, dating,
cool.
and relationships.
Yes. Oh, are you back in that
feeling
cabin?
nostalgic.
Back in that cabin from when we recorded that?
Our very first podcast, guys. Please excuse our audio, but hey, we gave it a crack. We talk about doing life and giving it a crack, and that's what matters.
Well, this is the thing. Like we were talking in a previous episode about growth mindsets and how growing is hard, and you have to be willing to kind of fuck it up a bit at the start whenever you do anything. Before you get somewhere. And so you and I, we're just people, we just fuck it up and we keep going it out anyway. Yeah.
It's always been my motto, fuck it up. Or say yes and do it later. Like it's a Richard Branson sort of saying.
Yeah, work it out later. Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I always say yes and then I'm like, how am I going to do that when it comes to the day? But you just work it out.
And the scareder you are, that's the way to go.
Yeah, but I think you've got to be a certain personality type to do what we do. Like if you had OCD or, and you needed a schedule.
Yes.
A
lot of people come to me and they say, you should talk about this, you should talk about that. And I'm like, well, how about you talk about that? And they're like, no.
No.
And that's happened to me my whole life. You should do, I think you should do it.
You're good at putting people back in their place with those comments.
People are very... They even forget what it feels like. They're like, why are you worried about that? Because I'm doing it and you're not. That's why I'm worried. Do you know what I mean? Because people don't think of the person who's actually having to do the thing. They just, and they see you as strong already. They don't realise you became strong because you had to go in the first place when you're feeling weak. Anyway, this week's episode, I want to give a shout out to the Chloe. So we love you, Chloe. We had an episode or two with Chloe recently where we interviewed her in relation to her being single and dating and lots of things. And she taught me a couple of things about dating apps that I didn't know. And I wanted to talk about that in more detail because the dating apps are really interesting for single people, and it can be a bit of a topic that people have lots of strong opinions about. But what I have the luck of knowing is that shall we call it the luck? No.
I'm secretly laughing here.
You're like luck.
Is that the right word?
I've had the longevity. So I've been around since they were embarrassing and only for the losers, all the way right up until the dating apps of today.
What was the very first app, do you think, that originated?
I don't know because there were websites before apps.
Websites. Yeah, we spoke about the websites.
But only the people that were on the websites were losers. And now it's people now it's the opposite. Do you know what I mean? Now the losers are anyway, I don't know where the losers are because there are no losers in life. But anyway. So anyway, I've watched the dating apps change over the years is what I'm saying. So as a woman, you used to be able to type in whatever radius of the kilometres of the man you're interested in. You type in the age, bunch of stuff, and you would just see those people and you would match with them or you would not match with them.
That's like having a list and filtering through your list.
Yeah, and it would never cost any money. And if the people were close and they were close, they just matched them up. Now they, of course, do it. They find out what you're interested in and they make sure. And this is what I learned from Chloe in relation to Hinge.
They hide it from you.
They hide the people that you're interested in.
I was blown away by that fact.
Yes.
I was like, is that what you mean by the roses?
Yes.
Like I'm on the
Rose
Bachelor?
jail.
Yeah.
So I didn't. I knew I had I had this inkling that was true, but I didn't know how true it was until she'd said it out loud, and she'd said, there's definitely Rose Jail. The people that you're interested in the most, they want you to pay the money to
It makes
speak
sense,
to, right?
It makes so much sense.
And now the dating game is they're trying to keep you on the apps. They don't want you to meet someone and get off the apps. They want to keep you on the apps. And so I did a little experiment.
You did?
I did.
Did you broaden your horizon?
So I actually went down to Melbourne to see a show.
Yeah.
And whilst I was in Melbourne for the show, I decided to open up my Hinge. So I was in the CBD.
How was that show, by the way?
Beetlejuice. The Beetlejuice was amazing.
Oh, it
that
was
wasn't the show. I saw Footloose that night.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
That was excellent. Anyway.
Sorry, I was like, I forgot to ask you that.
Beetlejuice.
I don't know this story.
I'm seeing Beetlejuice again.
You are?
Yeah.
It was that good?
Yeah.
Would I like this?
Yes, you would.
Okay.
Yeah, Beetlejuice was great.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. The Beetlejuice guy is Eddie Perfect from Offspring.
Oh!
I love him. Yeah.
I liked that.
Yeah. Anyway, that's not the story. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. Now you've distracted my brain.
I know, I'm really sorry. I was like, I need to know, how's Beetlejuice?
Yeah, no, Beetlejuice is great, everyone. Go get tickets. Anyway, so
you went down to Melbourne.
So I went down to Melbourne. I was running early. Well, actually, I was running on time and all my girlfriends were running late. What a shocker. And I decided to do Chloe's thing. So what she'd said was you write the age group that you're interested in is 75 to 85.
Oh, my God.
And you write tick not a deal breaker, which means people from the other age groups can message you. And then you put like the kilometre radius is different or whatever. I can't remember what I put as my kilometre radius, to be honest with you.
As far as
but I put I also put not a deal breaker, not a deal breaker,
which seems to be like a deal breaker.
So because I'd always put deal breaker, right? I'm a deal breaker lady. Anyway,
any extra boxes you'll tick.
Hello, no. Oh, well, I'm more like you're out. Like yeah. Anyway, so this happens. I do the thing, and then like literally through the entire show, my phone's going off, and I'm like trying to turn it off, and then I turned it off. My watch was still going.
I was wondering if that was your phone or if you had like a vibrating underwear or something. Because the way you were,
it was like luckily the show was boring, and so it was fine. Like it was kind of funny, and I kept looking down, going, "Oh my God, what the hell is going on?" So normally, as a comparison, normally if I put on Hinge to my current settings and my current interests, I might get maybe 15 people say match. Now it's different to the other apps in that for Hinge, you can say you like someone and then they get a notification that you've said you like them.
Okay.
In Tinder, you have to swipe that you like them to see if they like
you.
It's different. So, number one, it costs money, or you've only got a certain number per day you're allowed to do. So, to like someone on Hinge, you have to actually really like them. You can't just go like. So, it's not like the other apps in that you don't want to waste your likes because you only get a certain number per day.
I get it.
So normally it's about 15 or something like that, whatever. So I woke up the next morning, 90 likes, 90, which was a lot for Hinge for me, for my age group.
Is a lot.
Yeah, well, it's actually not a lot for Tinder or something like that because you can just swipe, and like guys just like everybody because they just play their numbers game. So it's a lot for Hinge for me. For my age group for Hinge. So it felt like a lot of people, and I thought, oh, this is interesting. We're going to have a little experiment here. So I went through and I wrote down every single one and just basically some facts about them.
Yeah.
And so most of them had monogamy written on their profile, and I was a little bit like, oh, this is interesting because they want short-term fun and they want monogamy because they're very conflicting profiles. And I had a little moment and then I realised my profile says like my profile is fairly open because I go monogamy, non-monogamy,
anything.
Fun, long-term, because I'm not looking for anything. I'm looking for like whatever.
Maybe you should leave it blank.
Well, you can't. You have to pick one, you see.
Oh, so instead of picking one, you've picked multiple.
I've picked them all and I've just written something along that vein. So then I thought, well, you can't actually, like, if someone's messaged me back, well, then, that's fair enough.
Do you think that men put monogamy on there to make it look more appealing
I think
from
so.
a shop front
I believe so. 100%. I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because, majority of women want stable one-person
100%.
relationship, right?
Yeah. And some of them put like their religion and their politics and stuff and yeah.
Woo!
Yeah, I know. Lord have mercy. Anyway, the interesting thing about it was they were from all of the suburbs. So there wasn't like a single place that these men existed, and they were from all over Victoria, mostly in Melbourne suburbs, but like some of them from the country as well. And the youngest was, guess how old the youngest was?
22.
19.
I was close.
My youngest child is 21.
And you put, well, okay. Mm-hmm.
I did not put 19. And the oldest,
put up to 85.
Guess how old the oldest was?
66.
80.
Are you fucking joking?
I am not joking. Well, which I can't. I did, by the way, no judgment. I put 75 to 85 on my profile that I was interested in. So
Yeah, but I
he
didn't
was
really
80.
think there were 80-year-olds on apps.
He was on the apps, and he
Was he a fit 80-year-old?
he
Did you
said
show me
he
a
likes to
picture?
swim laps every day. He made a point of mentioning his health.
Aw,
Yeah,
sweetheart.
yeah.
Let's go sit in the sauna
Yeah, exactly.
on a Wednesday morning.
Yeah,
Together.
Yeah. I'm
You
laughing.
spoke to him?
No.
Oh, is this just what it said on his profile?
These were just the profiles,
Oh my
right?
God.
So
I wish you
like,
did.
it
You should have done
ranged
that for
all
the
the way from
experiment.
19 to 80, and every single age in between, pretty much. Like they were all of the ages. So Chloe, you are correct. So all the guys that are in my age group were there as well, that normally may not have been there. So
have yourself a sugar daddy.
It did filter out the. Oh, absolutely. If I wanted a sugar daddy, I could have one years ago.
Can you go on to the Sugar Daddy app?
No.
Just the website. Just because I just want to see.
No, but I do know someone
if
who
he's someone's gonna take us on a
who's
yacht.
currently looking into becoming a sugar baby. I could see if she wants to talk on the pod.
I listened to a podcast the other day with a lady that did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a pretty interesting story.
I'm more likely to be the opposite. I'll pay you to come and do stuff for me.
Sugar mama.
Anyway. So 19 to 80, all the different ages in between. Guess how many I matched with that I was actually interested in?
Not many.
Guess.
out of the 90,
Out of the 90, how many people do you think I
a 10
was interested in?
10. 9 of them.
3?
I was close. A 10. So that's like a 30th. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Small
3.
portion.
And so 2 of them,
Oh my God.
the initial conversations were,
3.
hey, how are you? Do you want to have sex? Basically. Like they don't actually say that, but that's what they
it
say.
said.
Oh, could use a cuddle right now. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
We don't like needy
If you got a
people
fire at your place,
like
I
that.
just want to sit next to you on it, on the couch. You know, like some
Okay.
form of
Interesting
I am willing to have sex with
conversation.
you without knowing who you are at all.
Okay, so with the 3 you matched
Yeah.
with, what made you
Decide to match
Yes.
with them. What were their attributes?
Yeah, what was the criteria that you're like, oh, yes, I'll
So they fit within my age range, which
Okay.
is basically late 30s, early 40s.
Yeah. You've really narrowed the pool there. No wonder why you had 90 fucking notifications.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But the point is I wouldn't have seen those guys if I didn't do the other
yes,
ones, right?
yes,
I wouldn't
yes,
have seen
yes.
them because
Yep.
Hinge would have hidden them. And basically people who I think I would call have a life. Now that sounds like it's being like judgmental, and it probably is in some ways. But like people like, so there's
bit of
a group,
substance.
there's groups of guys that have like a picture of them holding a fish, the picture of them holding their niece or nephew, because that's the only time they get a camera and take a photo of themselves. And I don't call that having a life, because I think people who have lives take photos of things that they're doing. So like if you're doing something significant, you take a photo of it, and so you would see more things. And even if they're
Don't
people
agree.
that don't take photos,
Men don't do that. I don't take photos.
well, they're not my man. I'm not interested in a man that's not taking photos.
Well, if they're taking photos, it's a woman taking the photo, like so.
Yeah, well, see, I don't like that.
But they're the photos you're looking at.
Yeah. I'm looking at the woman. I'm looking at his ex-girlfriend taking the photo.
Yes. Or his sister-in-law with the
Well,
niece.
that's probably true. It could be true. I don't
True.
know.
They don't take photos, I'm telling you.
Well,
it's only women that worry about that
unilaterally,
shit.
men don't take photos. Come on,
They
there's gotta be
don't.
men that take photos. There's photographers
Unless you're
that
an
exist.
influencer or a sportsman, because you have to.
They just don't.
They don't.
Don't take a photo. Anyway,
Prove me wrong.
Well, no, I've matched with many people that take photos. Many men
Like
that take
this,
photos.
or they just take photos of their apparatus.
No, they take photos.
Okay.
Real photos. You know, like men who travel and they go to like see something and they take a photo of themselves in front of the thing. I love those photos. Okay, you've been to Europe. You've actually had like done things with your life. That's the photos I mean.
Okay.
I don't necessarily mean the photos you and I would take. No. No. Do you remember that guy that I matched with in Sydney that time? Do you remember that guy that I ended up meeting in Sydney like years ago? Remember him that you met? Remember you met him? Yes.
Enlightened me. Oh,
because you came to the hotel room late and you met him. Remember him?
Hello.
His photo on Hinge was him naked on a top of a mountain. Beach. Remember? And it was just the back of his butt on the top of a mountain. Yeah.
Oh, let's go.
And it wasn't the fact that he was naked because that wouldn't normally be attractive at all. But he was on a mountain. So that's fun.
By himself.
That made him fun.
Oh, yeah. I get it.
Yeah.
I get
so
the
it's
context.
the fun.
Okay.
I need the fun.
All right.
She's making fun of me.
That
just
was
saying,
funny.
People.
It's funny.
Anyway, to the guys, straight up sex. No. Like, talk to me like a human, buddy. I'm not into transactions. Don't transact me. So they got deleted immediately. The third guy. Got a hair.
You don't even have a dog yet.
I know. The third guy was so incredibly boring that I couldn't maintain the conversation with him. He actually repeated his answer to a question. I said, what do you like to talk about or something in that vein? Because he was talking about how he does talk back recordings. And I thought, you do, like some sort of version of radio. Yeah. And I'm like, what do you like to talk about? And he just repeated the statement twice.
Is he an AI person?
I don't know. But anyway, that was the end of that. So 0 from 90 from this app.
That's not a good number.
Well, I thought it was funny because I wasn't attached to the outcome.
It's sad for people.
Well, yes.
Like
sad
you.
for the people that care. Sad for the people that are invested in that.
Did I just say that? Oh my God.
But you know what?
Sad. I'm sad.
So do you know that's interesting about that is not that long after that, I'd made the decision to delete all of the apps. They're all gone. And I've done that many times before. I've done it before because I'm saturated. Why are you giving me a funny look?
What are you doing with your time?
You've lost it.
I've lost the plot.
You have lost the plot.
What are we going to do when we go away together?
What am I doing with my time? Anyway, you know how I've done it before?
So now she's getting a dog.
I've had periods. Well, that's separate. You know how I've had periods of time before where I've gone off them entirely, and that's because I'm saturated and because I get frustrated with the conversations, and I don't want to be the person who is cynical. I don't want to be cynical, and I become cynical when I'm in the apps. So I'm out, right? So this is not. I deleted them all recently, and the reason that was not to do with being cynical at all. I decided that they were such an artificial environment now. They are no longer matching up people to people. It's an algorithm. It is impersonal. You have to cheat the system to actually get the conversations. And every single person that matters in my life, I did not meet online. Like you, I didn't meet online. All of the friends that I have currently in my life, I met in real life. So why am I not giving the same level of faith to the universe that whatever guy I'm interested in meeting, I'll just meet anyway?
Wow.
Like that's where I went. I went, you know what? This is artificial, and I'm spending all my time and energy in this on the phone. It's not a person, and I do go out and live life, as you know, because there's plenty of photos to prove it. There's like my social media is like active, and I could be meeting people everywhere I go, but I'm not looking where I go because I'm having fun with my girlfriends or whatever. But if I keep myself open wherever I go, I can meet whoever, whenever, and I will. Because I have in every other area of my life.
You've just shifted.
Yeah. Every other area, all my needs are met. Yet I'm trying to get my needs met by this dumbass app that is just absolute complete bullshit that makes me want to pull my hair out. And 19-year-olds telling me that I look sexy. I don't want to know, buddy. Go put your nappy back on. Oh, my God.
I think this whole episode is me in laughter.
I mean, what's the lowest age you would go? I know you're not thinking about it.
I don't
blah,
know.
Blah, blah. Well, how low would you go?
Look, mate, I think I'm old.
Are you the standard cougar rules? So how old are you?
I'm 36.
36 divided by 2 is 18 plus 7 is 25. You can go 25.
Okay.
Would you go 24?
Look, I don't even know what a 24-year-old acts like these days. I don't think they're very serious people.
Do they need to be serious?
They need to be mature. Mm-hmm. Nah.
Okay, very interesting. That's actually like honestly, that's a whole other episode. Is to what actually would you want to do with these people? But definitely, so like that's Hinge, for example, and then Tinder is like even worse. So for example, I can put so you put your correct age and the correct age comes out, but I can put like say 50 kilometers because I want to put someone far away from where I live. Never met a local. That came up as a good thing again this week. Like it comes up as a good thing all the time because like I don't know anyone. I don't know any local men. And people are like, oh, do you know this guy? And I'm like, no. Thankfully.
That's a hard no.
Oh, so good. And so I put the distance and they'll show me men that are 135 kilometres, 240 kilometres, 13,000 kilometres away because they've paid money. I haven't paid money. They've swiped on me. I'm getting shown. So I would see maybe 10 guys that are not in my radius for every one guy that is in my radius.
Wait, can you repeat that again? They've paid money.
Yeah.
Men pay?
Yeah.
On Tinder?
Yeah.
What if you're gay?
Then what do you mean?
But women don't pay.
Well, no, it's not like if you say you're a man, you have to pay. What I'm saying is,
that's fair.
Like men have always paid on dating apps, or often, or for years have paid on dating apps.
To get a bigger pool.
Yeah, to get to the Rose jail, like to get past the Rose jail. Like they've always had that. Women haven't.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, if that makes sense. Women have always been presented with the men. Now I'm being presented with the men, unless I pay. Yeah, and then I can narrow my search engine further if I pay. And Bumble is slightly better in that regard in relation to like the distance and whatever. But Bumble now they've changed. It used to be the woman had to message first and now the guy can send a prompt to message first. So they're all blending into the same thing. And everyone's on the same ones, as Chloe's already said.
Yeah.
Like
and they just
they're all on all three.
The same people are appearing on each app anyway.
Yes. And how do you know who you're matching with? Which we are going to talk a little bit about in the next episode because this is going to flow on. But like, how do you know from like if you're someone that's not attracted to someone's like you were just saying, what did you say you want out of someone?
Mature?
Yeah. How do you tell if they're mature off an app?
You can't.
No.
You can't. Like even the context, like from what you've shown me, how like the little wording parts or the paragraphs could be written by anyone. You just don't know.
It could be written by AI.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Anyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I think you've raised a very valid point in your experiment and what you found.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of you for coming. Like, everyone's got rose-coloured glasses on.
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the apps at all. I've been on can't say that there is, but for you to have come to this conclusion, it's like, what the fuck am I doing here? I can, and it's a choice, I can stand confident in myself wherever I am throughout my life. If someone were to appear, here I am. Yeah. They can meet me face to face.
Yeah. And you've been married to Anne forever, so you need to think about this in relation to friendships or something, but just roll with me. Do you not are there people in your life like that you've met through work or something? The first time you've met them, you've gone, I'm not sure on you.
100%.
I don't know if I'm going to find anything in common. You don't dress like me. You don't look like me. You're not really like, what are we going to talk about, right?
Yes.
Do you immediately go, yes, we're going to be besties?
Absolutely not.
No. And so
why are you expected to do that?
Yes, the apps are asking us to do that. They are. Yeah. And then people like me who have had many experiences with them are going to go, nah, bad sentence, you're out. Like,
yeah, I think it actually
like they don't get any chances. No chances.
It enables people to be more judgy.
Yeah.
Like it's an enabler.
And I would call myself high standards, but I'm also ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like ridiculous in that I'll go, no, you said this, you're out. I'm not seeing you. I don't want to hang out with you.
Because you can. Whereas if you are face to face with someone, like a girl at work the other day was telling me that she went on this date.
Yeah.
She was like, winner. Like, and it was through an app. She goes, I won because he picks the date, the place, the time. Like, she was like, yes. Like, he offered. He was like, let's meet here at this time. Apparently this particular place is like it's renowned in the northern suburbs of Melbourne. Like, if you're going there, then, you know, you're onto things. You know, it's a cool place.
Yeah.
So she's like, well, I'm on. Anyway, she rocks up. He has fully divulged everything that's going on in his life.
Right.
Like he's asked her a question, a simple question. It's got like half an hour's gone by. It's that type of place that you have to go to the bar to order food or drinks.
Yep.
He said he was studying law. He quit that. He was studying this, isn't doing that anymore. She goes, oh, so what are you studying now? And he's like, oh, nothing. I'm on a break, like, because of my mental health. Like, see, he's already like 3 red flags in her mind are like going off, but she's got to stay on this date because she's a nice person. Mm-hmm. So she's like, look, I'm going to go order a drink. And she stands up and he's like, oh, I'll have a. So she's going to order the drink because time's gone by. And she's like, I need to like get this over with sort of thing. And he then said to her, oh, you can get me this. So she went and got the drinks.
Oh, my God.
In the end, she's discovered that he's jobless, got no money. So he went to this
She's shouting the dinner.
Yes. But she didn't eat because it was a principle. She's like, I'm not fucking ordering food.
Oh, fucking I love you. I love her.
She was like,
love
I'm not ordering food.
Good call.
And then at the end, like 2 hours had gone by. She's like, I've got to get out of this situation. Like, I'm not staying here for another minute. And it just kept being about him. Didn't ask her anything at all. He thought like it was really positive.
He thinks he's having a massive emotional connection.
Because he's connecting, right?
Yeah. Because he thinks he's the prize. Even with all of those things going on, he thinks he's the prize. That is classic man. Classic.
So she goes, I'm going to go now. Like, very straightforward. I'm going to go now.
Fucking
sure.
legend.
So he's like, okay, took it as a cue. Stand up. We're going to go. Stands at the front. She's like, look, I've driven here tonight, so I'm just going to go to my car now. And he's like, so do you want me to walk you to your car? Like, how far is it? She goes, it's really far away. And then he's like, so can I kiss you? And she's like, absolutely not. And keeps walking. She's like, what
a legend. Yeah, this is the thing though, the delusion that they think that things are going well because they're talking about themselves.
It was just, when she told me that, I was like, I'm so sorry. Like,
this is classic.
And, you know, she tried the face-to-face.
Yeah.
Like, so to get off the app is a whole nother process. And she did the face-to-face thing to give him a go. But I guess if she had known some of these things beforehand, she wouldn't have even found herself in that situation. Which is what happens
to me. I find out them beforehand and then I don't meet them. But good on her. Good on her for having a go because you, like, at some point you do get you just get frustrated with it all. But unfortunately, another issue is the fact that there are a lot of men out there that do think that they're the prize. They do think that that connection is when they talk and you listen. That's what they think it is. They don't see women as equals. They see women as accessories, and they don't even know necessarily that they do that, but they do. It's only like, you know, the men that work on themselves that become obviously emotionally intelligent and all those sorts of things that actually, and they're few and far between. So that's true as well as the apps are an issue, if that makes sense. But we can't fix that one. Like that's another whole topic.
No.
Entirely. But good on her for that. I had that happen to me years ago when I went to, actually, this is an inappropriate story. But I'll say it. I go into detail about this in my book, actually. In 2010, 2011, which you and I now affectionately refer to as the wild years, and when I first got divorced, and I used to go to some special parties that were special, not necessarily the kind of parties you would go to. Yeah,
there's a Rosella.
Aww. And so the parties, yes. So I went with one guy who was just a lovely, lovely, lovely guy. I felt really safe around him. He was really, really good. He had no job, and he at one point said to me that he had no job and he wasn't getting an income. We get to the party and I'm expected to pay for the party. And he goes, I just thought you knew that because I don't have a job.
Oh, my goodness.
And you're like, just the arrogance.
So what happened? Did you pay?
Yeah, because I wanted to go.
Did you have a good time?
Yeah, I was fine.
Course it.
That was the you know what happened that night. You know what happened. That was worth $35.
Is that the total or per person?
Per person, I think.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah, it was fine. It wasn't a lot of, but it's not the amount of money. Your friend will be the same. It's not the amount of money. I would never do that now. I would never put myself in a position to pay for the man. It's the principle of the matter, and it's ridiculous that they would assume that.
It's bizarre.
Yeah,
Some of these stories.
They happen all the time.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's delve in further next week.
Yeah.
Because we want to talk about what initially attracts you to a person and then therefore how that works in relation to apps.
I like it.
See you next week.
Bye. Thanks for listening to Sex and the One, an original podcast created by
KV&B,
produced by
B&KV,
content by
KV&B,
enthusiasm for sex,
B, and mostly KV.